And yeah, and then I found basketball and I just fell in love. Well, I guess I had pretty much a standard life of a kid. Went around, did everything I could. I was just that active kid that enjoyed doing everything he could get his hands on. And yeah, and then I found basketball. In primary school, there was this competition that our teacher ran in our PE class where we ran like an NBA type simulation. I just really enjoyed doing it.
In primary school, Jake was he was a very quiet student. He did what had to be done, basically.
Oh, the first tryouts, that was a tricky one because I was very nervous and I was unsure on how to play. What set me up for the season really well was winning our first game quite strongly, and the fact that I did pretty well in that game and supported the team quite well. Then the next game, we versed a team that was just so much better than us and we just got completely demolished. I guess afterwards, I stopped and realised that I needed that loss to kind of set me up for the rest of the season. And we went on to win every game that season. And then coming to the finals, we also won every game. And I ended up being the MVP. I guess it was a dream come true pretty well because I'd always wanted to be that kid who had something to his name. And when I realised I was the top scorer for the league, it was kind of just a surreal moment. And then when it came to the awards and everything being announced, when my name was called for league MVP and for best on court for the finals game and for team MVP, it was just it wasn't real, it was unreal.
I think it's just God disguised as Jake, really.
First saw Jake playing basketball, I noticed he's very skillful. And the reason I noticed him is because he's on the basketball court all the time.
He's a good player. He can dunk, he can shoot, and he can do everything. Pass, he's a great basketball player.
That Div 1 season didn't go as well as the Div 2, but I kind of put that down to the fact that it was a new environment. I kind of felt like it was expected. That sounds egotistical, but coming off the back of the season I had in Div 2 and all the comments I was getting from coaching staff and everyone in the Div 1 teams, and I kind of felt like I was going to be in the Div 1 team. There were very drastic changes and I kind of had to fill a role that wasn't the lead player, and that's something I wasn't used to. It made me feel like I could depend on my team a lot more though, but I felt like myself, I suffered in terms of stats.
Jake went through a couple different periods. In years 10 and 11, Jake was an absolute dickhead. He was quite frankly the worst person I knew.
I haven't really seen him pass the ball much. Honestly, he's very selfish. He's a bit of a tryhard. You know, I guess that comes with dedication, but honestly, he just needs to shut up sometimes.
Basketball player, he's all offensive.
No defense, can't do shit.
Just sits there and tries to look pretty, doesn't work.
Yeah, like he thinks he knows what he's doing. Like he'll like jump around and stuff, like be like, oh, I'm so cool, but he actually doesn't know how to play.
We could do better. We don't play basketball.
I took that personally.
Coming off the back of the Div 1 season at Barmera, I wasn't really happy with where I fit with the team. And I just felt like I needed a change. I need something new, some coach who would maybe recognise my skill. That season, that was a real roller coaster. We had our coach for the first half of the year, but then he left and our team kind of fell into disarray. We started losing games. Then the new coach came in and everything changed. Our team was like a whole again. We started beating teams that were on the top of the ladder for the whole season, and it just felt like a good environment to be in. Scotty was he was the coach that came in after the team started to fall apart, and I guess what he did for the team brought out a no-nonsense approach, which is what I've always wanted in a coach. I wanted a coach who could push the team, push everyone to their limits. And I guess with Scotty, he saw something in me. He saw how I played and he revolved the team around that and made everyone feel included, myself as well. and he was pretty much my saviour. But when finals rolled around, we ended up losing in our first final against Loxton, and that was our season done.
Oh, it was a great experience with Jake. I really enjoyed myself watching him ball out. Never seen anything more mesmerising in my life, if I'm being quite frank.
Jake played all right. He had some really good moments where he used those skills really well and he set up his other players really well. Got put under a lot of pressure at times though and struggled with that a little bit and made a few mistakes too that turned the ball over.
I was asked to play for the Div 1 men's team this year and I was offered a sponsorship, but unfortunately because I am moving to Queensland, I cannot play. The ultimate dream would be to get scouted into the NBL 1s up in Queensland and then from there move into the NBL maybe and possibly even end up in the NBA.
No joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke. When I'm gone, no one gets on, cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I set. I like to stand in the crowd and watch the people wonder, damn. But think about it, then you're